Yo, what is going on, everybody? I am your host, Slackerz Gaming, bringing you the next matchup of the DLC character tournament. Today is going to be a good one. I can't wait. But before we get into that, if you are new and you want to participate, it's very simple. Just a few rules I want you to follow. So the way, you only get one vote, and the way I want you to vote is vote for who you personally would rather have as DLC. No, it doesn't matter. If there's an assist trophy, if there's a Pokemon, Stage Hazard, a Spirit. If you think the character is deconfirmed, doesn't matter. This tournament is for fun. Vote for who you personally would rather have in today's matchup as a DLC character. Pretty simple. And then, yeah, so I said one vote per person. This is a double elimination tournament, meaning the character has to lose twice before they're officially done. And if there's a tie in the voting, flip a coin. Best way to solve that issue. So, with that being said, voting also stays open for just 1 week. So, since we're 1 week later from last Monday, we got to go over the results from last week, which was Elma taking on Mock Rider, and well, this probably went the way you would probably expect. So, let's go to the results. Loser bracket. So the loser ends up going home because, well, this part of the bracket, every result this week will be from the loser bracket. So we're going to have an elimination every day this week. So this one, Elma ended up winning this matchup, 42 votes to 24. There's a decent chunk of Mock Rider supporters in the comment section, and I think the Grinch League really helped bring Mock Rider to, well, people's minds and, you know, all that stuff. So cool to see some support for, you know, older character like that. But Mock Rider ended up losing. Mock Rider is now eliminated. Elma survives for at least one more matchup. And we should find out her opponent for her next round matchup tomorrow. Master Chief and Gen 8 Pokemon. But that's not the matchup. Today is the... I'm calling it the rematch. We never got the official rematch. So, real quick, few people... I mean, there might be quite a bit of people that know I do tournaments just for fun on this channel. My potential newcomer tournament. We had this matchup. Bandana Dee took on Shantae. Was the most voted on matchup in the entire tournament. Now, I don't know. I don't think I'm expecting the same amount of votes or anything like that, but that was just my favorite matchup to watch in general. So much support for Bandana Dee and Shantae. Shantae ended up beating Bandana Dee in that old tournament. That's the old tournament. She could still win this one. So, the rematch. This is going to be good. So, we never did officially get that old rematch, but here's a rematch for a new tournament. Whatever. So, Bandana Dee taking on Shantae. Those are your options to vote for. Alright. Bandana Dee. Now, I still view Bandana Dee mainly because if you looked at the tournament, there's seedings next to every character, and I have Bandana Dee as the #1 seed. Well, at the time, we didn't know there was a Bandana Dee Spirit, so I kind of thought, okay, you know, that gives them an edge for maybe DLC. Well, Spirits aside, doesn't matter. I still think Bandana Dee, if Nintendo's going to go first party for DLC in this case, I think it's got to be, you know, definitely up there in the conversation. Bandana Dee, that is, for a character for DLC. Much talked about, much speculated on up to the release of Smash Ultimate. A lot of fans behind it. Kirby could use another rep for the franchise. The 4, you know, if they included Bandana Dee, of course, Kirby, Meta Knight, and King Dedede, then Bandana Dee to round it out. I think that would make the perfect quartet of characters. Perfect 4 characters. I mean, he'd be the first spear wielder. I mean, I'm not talking about anything new for Bandana Dee. It's the same stuff I kind of always talk about, but I mean, come on. We need Bandana Dee in the game. Playable character. But, I mean, first spear wielder, so he'd have his own different, unique moveset. You can't use the argument, oh, he's a side character, you know, he's a Goomba with a hat. You can't really use that because we're getting Piranha Plant. So, that argument doesn't work anymore. Does not work anymore. Piranha Plant's a side character, too. There's probably other side characters in the roster. But, regardless, Bandana Dee, I mean, moveset is there. It's from a series Slackerz worked on personally. Like I said earlier, the character is very popular. A lot of speculation. A lot of people want to see this happen. So perhaps maybe it does work. Here's an idea for somewhat of a moveset. I did make my own moveset for Bandana Dee a little over a month ago. Use the spear a lot. Surprise. But it'd be really cool to see. Could have the Megaton Punch. Quick little cinematic kind of thing. Maybe just quick punch the ground, earthquake, explosion, blam! Could be the final smash, something like that. But, yeah, Bandana Dee definitely one of the first party characters that has, I guess, one of the better chances, in my opinion, to be DLC. So, yeah, I love Bandana Dee. I wish Bandana Dee would be a part of the roster. Plain and simple. I just make it happen, right? Let's just do it. So, but now let's go to Bandana Dee's opponent, Shantae. All right. So again, I wanna bring this up because I was never a big supporter. I wasn't even a supporter of Shantae, honestly. But when I did the old tournament and I was kind of reading comments about the character and people in my community got to, you know, talking about her, and then I got to learn about Shantae, the character herself. The more I kind of started really liking the idea of Shantae as a playable character, I thought it was downright awesome. I mean, Way Forward Games, the people behind Shantae, have practically made the character already for Smash. They got alternate skins. I mean, she's got a great moveset potential. She's got her own personality, characteristics, all that stuff. She has it to be a playable character in Smash. Now, she's an indie rep. Some people think, all right, no indie reps should be playable. Because I used to think if an indie rep was going to be playable, the only one that should be considered was Shovel Knight, because he's kind of really viewed as the face of indies, and I agreed with that. I still think if an indie rep does get in, I think Shovel Knight should be playable before Shantae, just my personal opinion. But if Shantae got in, and I really kind of hope she does at this point. Sure, she is a spirit. Again, that does not matter. But if she were to get in, there's a lot of... I mean, she just has a lot going for her. She's got a good history with Nintendo. Exclusive. Well, are they exclusives? I don't know. But she's been on a lot of Nintendo platforms. I guess her games sell pretty well. I mean, the Way Forward was... I don't know. Somebody from Way Forward was like really petitioning really hard for her to be in Smash Wii U 3DS at that time for that ballot to vote for her. I think here's like a kind of mock-up of it. Like here's some alternate skins. I mean, just when I think of like Nintendo, when I think of Smash Bros in general, there's just like a certain style, not necessarily fighting style, but just a style, the artsy, cartoony kind of vibe, if you want to go like that. Shantae fits that great. I mean, both these characters, I honestly hope both these characters get in Smash as DLC or just playable somehow. Next game, DLC, this game, whatever it is. I think they both kind of deserve it. Plus, it'd be really cool, you know, for Shantae as an indie character to be playable. That would be a huge accomplishment. I know, I mean, for just indies in general. I know it's not all indies are sharing, oh, indies got a character in Smash. You know, but at this point, it's kind of like any character is possible. Like Reggie was saying, you know, think kind of outside the box when it comes to characters. So maybe that kind of means, all right, think outside the box. I don't think just Nintendo or big-time AAA third-party characters. Think indie characters. Think fantasy characters. Just think whatever. You know, there's... everything's like a possibility, pretty much. You know, within the realm of possibility. Be an actual video game character, you know, which she is. So, my vote for this rematch, I'm still voting Bandana Dee because I just like the character better, and I would... between these two, I'd just rather see Bandana Dee over... in the game as a playable character over Shantae, but I still support both characters. If I don't know. I was thinking about maybe making a rule you can vote for both, but I'm not doing that. No, one vote per person, one or the other. Just one or the other. Just gonna keep it how it always has been. So my vote is Bandana Dee. I just would rather have that character. Pretty plain and simple. That's all it is. So I guess with that being said, there's not much left to this episode. Rematch. I can't believe it. It actually happened. Can't believe it shaped up this way, too. Very cool. But Shantae, voting-wise, check this out. Shantae's doing amazing voting-wise. 160 votes in her first game, 133 the second game. Can she break that 100 mark, that century mark again? We'll find out next week. But, hey, stay there. But, yeah, so we got to go over, I think I showed a sneak peek for the results tomorrow, right? We'll get the results of Master Chief taking on Pokemon? Wow. Master Chief against Pokemon? Has that ever been a sentence in the history of the internet? No, I don't think so. So that'll be the result. And then tomorrow's matchup is right below this. So tomorrow's matchup is going to be another really good one. Banjo-Kazooie taking on Rayman. like, all these quarterfinal matches in the winners bracket are really good. Lloyd Irving, Gene and Gino, Tails and Sora. Tails is coming a long way. Tails is surprising me. But, yeah, that's going to be the result and the game for tomorrow. Just a little sneak peek. But, yeah, I guess nothing more to say other than who you got. Remember, 1 vote per person. Down in the comments, simply type the name of either Bandana Dee or Shantae. Pretty simple. That's how it's going to go. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much going to be it for me and this episode. I do have another one coming out later today. Not of the tournament, but just a different fun sort of little video. And, yeah, it still has to do with DLC characters, though. So, yeah, check that out a little bit later today. Anyway, that is going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I look forward to these votes and who wins the rematch. That's what it's going to come down to. Anyway, that is it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.